What's something most people find attractive that you can't stand? Story 1. There's a level of conventional beauty in women that just doesn't mesh well with me. Slim face, tiny nose, piercing eyes, high cheekbones, pointed chin, small head. It feels sort of misogynistic to say, but it all starts to feel a little samey. There's nothing wrong with those features, but so many people striving for and converging upon that particular look has made it sort of bland to me. I've found myself admiring women that have and highlight unique features. I like round faces. I like strong noses. I like full cheeks. I like soft eyes. Story 2. Women with fake who look like they're wearing diapers. I'm a 33-year-old female, so I'm not super old, but I'm old enough. One thing I've deduced, trends are pushed via models. Trends come and go, but models will look good in just about anything. People wanting to look good is a major industry. Think about it. Emo hair, low-rise jeans, shoulder pads, extreme contour makeup, huge lips, huge eyebrows, skinny eyebrows, etc., etc. I mean, who honestly looks good in these outside of a photo shoot? I swear some important big CEO is just sitting around scheming. What do most people not have naturally that will really only look decent on models? That we can photograph, then convince people they need to look good like these pics so they spend more money. They've already bought brown threading X-style clothes, Y-style hair, and we need to convince them to spend more money to look this way now. Every 3 to 5 years, it's a completely new look. We went from Jersey Shore to Kim Kardashian to cottagecore to Barbie. Ever since I've put 2 and 2 together, I've been 100% happy with myself. All of my features have been in style at some point since I've come of age. Pretty sure everyone has, so what's the point? They just want us to waste our money on stupid, overpriced Story 3. Smokers. I'm so sorry, but I seriously cannot with the gesture and everything, but especially the smell. As a daughter of smokers, I've developed such a sensitivity to it that if my mom lit one on the opposite side of the house, I'd be able to smell it within less than a minute. And I despise it with all my strength. I found it disgusting and an immediate turnoff. I dated a guy in college that smoked a lot of weed and the occasional cigarette. I'm absolutely fine with weed, by the way. Wasn't too much of my thing personally, but I'm cool with it. However, his breath smelled like his lungs were rotting. It was not fun kissing him. Story 4. Designer brands. To me, people look like a walking billboard, LARPing as a wealthy person when in fact really wealthy people don't wear any of that. Just trashy B-list celebrities and Instagram trust fund brats. Story 5. Not necessarily a heavy dislike, but these conventionally attractive poster boy men with shredded abs. Whenever I see them on TV or in magazines, I think I'm supposed to find them drop-dead gorgeous and hot, but they do nothing for me at all. Same with supermodel women. However, slightly disheveled men with dad bods and snarky humor as well as curvy women with cute big eyes are peak beauty to me. Story 6. Long fingernails. Long fingernails are the reason I finally broke it off with my high school girlfriend. We had been on the rocks for a while, on again, off again every few weeks, and we had just gotten back together. We were sitting at lunch and she was eating a sandwich, but the bread was a little soggy from the mayo and it all got smudged up under her nails. Then she started sucking the bread out from under them. I was so disgusted that I called it off right there and then and went to go sit with my other friends. Story 7. I feel like a lot of girls love men who really flex their wealth. I see guys on Instagram showing off their cars and watches and whatnot, and women really seem to love that. I get that it's the person being rich that's attractive, but it's so cringy. Real rich people don't splash it all over Instagram. I don't know many women who find this attractive. I think insecure likes insecure. Outward appearance super important in perception and looks, so that's probably the demographic of women looking for flashy dudes. Story 8. The big lips. Who in their right mind finds that shit attractive? Was at the beach the other day and this couple came up behind me and asked how long the wait was for the restaurant, and when I turned around, I had to hold in my shock and laughter. Lady looked like she was stung by a wasp. Poor woman could hardly speak. Story 9. I have two that I'm basing just on my experiences on Tinder. When their whole personality is going to the gym. Definitely be healthy and move your body, but when every picture is at the gym and they don't have any other hobbies, it's an instant swipe left. Gleefully hunting. Any picture of someone holding an animal they and grinning makes me feel so gross. Hunting on its own is fine, and way better and more humane than store-bought meat, but it's something about the apparent joy at something that makes me almost afraid. I guess some girls look at it as being a provider, but I cannot stand it. Story 10. That awful hairstyle guys are doing where they shave everything except the top of their head and they make it super curly. Whether it's naturally like that or not, shaving your head all around and keeping a tuft on top makes you look so gross to me. It's like you slapped ramen noodles on top of your head. Plus, those guys always seem to be huge from what I've encountered. Story 11. Very skinny women. Like the whole chick thing that is coming back. The emaciated, bony look. I find it very off-putting. Story 12. The e-girl look. I understand some of the appeal, but it's so fake, and they all look the same with a bunch of makeup and Photoshop. Super successful ones get plastic surgery and don't even look human anymore. Story 13. Men who are all muscly and pumped up. Flat, hard bellies, abs, massive veins everywhere, all of these things are a huge turnoff. Also, this is probably just me, but also the way super muscly guys always seem to wear those dumb gym bro tank tops that are basically two handkerchiefs and some string. You know, the ones with the huge armholes so you can basically see their entire torso. We f***ing get it. You want us to know you lift. Nobody cares. And you're not as hot as you assume we think you are. Story 14. Very straightened hair. I think naturally curly and wavy hair is beautiful. And while straight hair is also beautiful in its own way, there are millions of girls out there devoted to removing one asset to their beauty that straight-haired girls are themselves to emulate. So when I see it, I'm always like, why? Story 15. Manic pixie dream girls and or depressive goblin nightmare boys. They're charming, funny, quirky, and the light of the party at first. And they will never let you be sad, which is great, until you can't have any negative emotions around them at all without them throwing their own fresh mental health crisis on top of it. Story 16. I've noticed this more recently, but people who fake mental illnesses and people who obsess over someone because they have an illness. Like, I got a long list of them that have severely affected my life. I can clearly see if you are faking it. It's not cute. And trust the people who really got it bad. You should probably stay away from, for your own health. Story 17. YouTube ad gym bros all telling me in 15 seconds how everything I know about health, eating, and building muscle is wrong, and they are right. As long as people are consistent in exercise, they will see results. Lower blood pressure, lower stress, more fit, more positivity. Story 18. Being attracted to someone just because they have a lot of followers makes them appear cool or popular, as if we're still in high school. To me, it's more attractive when someone is private and not attention hungry and doesn't share their whole life and family and friends with the world. Story 19. I'm a heterosexual female for reference. I think tanned skin is gross. It reminds me of a boiled hot dog. I don't find the gym bro and bodybuilder look attractive at all. General fitness is hot, but having every little muscle pop or making yourself cartoonishly large is really unattractive from a psych standpoint as well as aesthetically. I'm not attracted to women, but I will say I hate the disproportionately giant look women are going for. I just don't get it. Maybe if I were into women, it'd make sense, but as it stands, why do you want to be a centaur? And the thick, stenciled eyebrows. You don't look like Audrey Hepburn. You look like an angry Muppet. To each their own, though. Story 20. For men. Excessive body hair. Chest, back, stomach. Yuck. Long facial hair. Like, if it's long enough to braid, then no. For women. Long fake eyelashes. Long claw nails. Also don't find jerks, bigots, and mean people particularly attractive. Story 21. UK lad here. False tan. In the UK, and especially where I'm from, somehow the chavvy orange girls are deemed to be the most attractive. Like, why in the I want to date a girl who pretends to have the skin tone of someone with liver disease. Story 22. Pretty much anything to do with looks that is excessive. Hair extensions for most women, non-natural eyelash extensions, long nails, heavily made up, where you look like a different person without it. Most Botox and fillers, disproportionate and overly muscular steroid-looking men. Story 23. Instagram filter. It's just so fake. Why do people do this? There is this one girl at my gym that is so beautiful. She has the perfect face and body, yet her Instagram pictures are blown up with filters that make her much uglier than she is. Like, WTF does she do this? I think a lot of people just aren't born with an artistic eye or any sense of what looks good. I have a lot of friends who look 20 times better without the filter, but they love to use it anyways. I also have more artsy friends who use filters that complement the photo or their face, and it's a definite improvement from the original. Filters can either change your look or change the vibe of the photo, and I think a lot of people just go for the look change. Story 24. Sneaky links. I want to love like Morticia and Gomez have. And for guys, I really don't like a lot of hair. But it's not my body, so I don't make them change it. I just like when guys are already not hairy. Story 25. Chavs. I'm talking about people here in the UK that keep their face covered constantly, talk like they're rock solid, especially on the internet, deal carry rusty machetes, and listen to drill nonstop. You are not cool. You. Story 26. Absolutely no hate because being healthy is, of course, a great thing. But super fit guys. My hubby has a dad bod, and I love it. I don't judge based on it, and I've dated a variety of weights and heights over the years. If I were single, I wouldn't make body type a priority, but I tend to be attracted to dad bods. Also, and those dancer shows. Doesn't turn me on at all. If my bridesmaids would have dragged me to a club or rented a I would have left. It's super cheesy. Story 27. Personality-wise? I can't think of the right word at the moment, but that hardcore, constantly working, excessively ambitious personality. I am all for caring about the quality of your work and having career goals, but not if that becomes all that you live for. I don't like workaholics. I value a healthy work-life balance. I also have career goals, and being good at my job and serving my country well, civil servant, is important to me. But I'm not working a single minute of unpaid overtime, and I'm taking the breaks I am entitled to by both law and my contract. There are plenty more shallow, physical things that are considered unattractive that I'm either apathetic about or find actively unattractive, but it feels unkind to list any of those. Story 28. From the way younger women seem to appear today, having gargantuan pouty lips that look like they've been hit in the face with thick black 2-inch eyelashes and a fake you could use as a bookshelf suggests it's something that should be attractive. I think it looks absolutely ridiculous, but there are literally thousands of them at the moment. Every girl aged 18 to 24 seems to look like this in the UK. Story 29. I find the idea of a stay-at-home wife to be extremely unattractive. I want my wife to do stuff out in the world, and we both come home ready to about work over some wine. It's really to me to have a partner rather than someone who is dependent, if that makes sense. Story 30. I would have to say chicks that look like Kim Kardashian. They all have the same face. There is no uniqueness to them. Even though the majority of men would call them hot, I personally don't find them attractive in any way. Sure, they may not be ugly, but they are not attractive to me. I think girls with the girl next door look are beyond hot, or chicks that most would consider average or normal, I think are way beyond more attractive than the other type. I don't know if this is normal or not. Story 31. Supermodel bodies. I've always felt they have an uncanny look overall. Slightly unrealistic muscle structure. The skin is an unnatural tan color. Their face is plasticized up, even though they looked a lot prettier before it. This can come off as judgmental, which I'm trying not to be. I just can't see why people find it beautiful. Usually, I understand why people like different things than me, but for this one, it's pretty much impossible to even slightly understand for me. Story 32. Extremely sociable people. I'm not saying it's objectively bad. If you're sociable, go for it. But I much prefer the privacy of one person's company or even no one, and I'd like to marry someone who feels the same out of convenience and comfort. Story 33. Dog ownership. I can't stand 99% of dog owners. I like dogs, but I don't like how society has made them the default pet. I don't like the idea that most dogs sit in the house all day. I don't think most dog owners put in the effort to give their dogs great lives full of purpose and activity. I only really approve of dog ownership when it comes to things like farm dogs, police dogs, support dogs, even show dogs, as their entire life is focused on a purpose beyond being a possession and a companion. Most dogs, I think, live pretty miserable lives just because it's popular to own them. The reasons they're popular are attractive, but so many dogs suffer and die because there's an industry behind making money off of breeding them and just letting anyone have them, and so many dogs get mistreated and die because of it. Also, I think dogs are rather annoying if they're not very well trained. Like, most dogs are annoying to be around for more than a few minutes in my opinion, and their owners just yell at them and scold them for not being more human. I think dog ownership should be more regulated. Like, you should only have dogs if you've taken a course on how to own them and show that you can keep them active. Breeding should be more regulated too. Story 34. Fierce facial features and that resting "I'm better than this" face. People might not know what I'm talking about, but about 75% of people often fawn over super attractive looks that way. Like, that whole overconfident and better than everyone around me vibe makes me want to open a whole clinic franchise. Story 35. Those anime girls with massive that make up a majority of their body weight, bigger than their heads and largely disproportionate to the rest of their body. What is so attractive about this? Like, sure, are nice, but that's unrealistic and kind of gross looking. Big are uncomfortable. Also, feet. Story 36. A lot of guys like the basic country look. Short shorts, skirt, cowboy boots, cowboy hats, maybe a denim jacket. I went to Nashville lately, and this was probably 95% of the women there. And you know, most of them probably had never worn a cowboy hat before that. I hate the look, but mostly because there is a personality that goes with it that I loathe. Story 37. As a generally accompanying statement here, fake on or in you, long nails, long fake eyelashes, fake implants to make your butt or look bigger, fake tans when you look orange. It is a thing for some, I guess, but man do I hate it. Makeup and stuff like lashes and fun nails are fun and all well and good, but some people just take it all too far and too often. Story 38. After having recently moved to Miami, the BBL, my goodness, the popularity is asinine to me. Everyone from models to clerks at 7-Eleven, and the obviousness of them, how disproportionate they are. It's comical, except I can't laugh because I am mortified for them. Story 39. People who are really conventional, attractive, and dress minimalistic look too similar and generic and unappealing to me. It's not that I can't stand it, it's just not for me. If you don't have something unique about you or at least dress a bit alternate, I'm probably not interested in you physically. Also, really tall people. My neck ends up hurting looking up at them so much. I figured that out after dating someone who was only a few inches taller than me. My neck didn't hurt as much while dating him, so I put it together and it was a nice thing to learn. Personality, humor, and how well we get along is really important too, though. Story 40. Childish makeup, handlebar ponytails, baby talk, trying to call me daddy. For that matter, white underwear and any other details that say immature. Other guys seem to love this stuff, and I will freely admit that there are too many markers of youth, nice figure, great skin, etc., that I do find attractive. I do not find attractive any markers of immaturity or anything to suggest or mimic the idea that person is underage. It is an extremely strong turnoff. Story 41. I have 3. Guys with the alpha male mindset. Like, why do this? Why put down other people for your own ego when they're just trying to mind their own business? Why tell other people how to live their lives when your mindset is just disguised as arrogance? We are human beings, not wolves. Studies have even shown that the hierarchy of wolves doesn't actually exist, but I guess it exists in humans? It makes no sense to me. Social media influencers. These people think they're the it when they get the attention of a younger audience, but really, they just do things they think will be influential that make future generations stupider. Every time I see a kid do something stupid because a TikToker or a YouTuber did it, I just grow to hate influencers even more. Botox. I don't need to say anything else. Story 42. Girls dressing to be revealing and showing off their bodies too much. It's a turnoff to me. It seems so trashy and like they are trying too hard. Not body shaming, just stating my opinion. A lot of celebrities do this, and whole careers are based on it. I'm thinking like, tone it down, and the effect will be the same. Again, just my personal opinion, not telling people how to dress. Guys do it too. I'm like, do you really need to be half or in your underwear or lingerie to go to the hardware store or to like a Walmart? Story 43. I find a lot of the traditionally attractive celebrity men are not as attractive as they're hyped up to be, but some of the ones who aren't in the running for Sexiest Man Alive are stunning. I'm not sure exactly what makes them attractive to others and not to me though. And not to say that they're icky. They're definitely good-looking men, but that near-symmetrical, dazzling smile, perfect hair look hasn't ever really done it for me.